Outside of Kansas City, in the state's largest county, the chief law enforcement officer has joined ranks with people who refuse to let the 2020 election lie die.
How many of you voted in the 2020 election? Put your hands down. Now, how many of you think your vote counted? See, this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing.
That's Sheriff Calvin Hayden of Johnson County, Kansas, just last month at a conference in Las Vegas, still questioning the validity of the 2020 election results, even though Donald Trump won his state by 15 points.
Repeat after me.
The nearly 2-year-old certified vote where Joe Biden beat Donald Trump by 74 electoral votes and more than 7 million popular votes.
There's a lot of stuff going around about what happened in this election. Quite frankly, I don't know. But I'm looking. And what we're looking at is we've got a whole lot of reasonable suspicion, and we're starting to develop some probable cause.
He says he's assigned sheriff's deputies to investigate 2020 election fraud.
It's a long, drawn-out investigation, and frankly, they've got a lot more to do.
Well, it's frustrating.
That's the top election official in Kansas during the 2020 election, Secretary of State Scott Schwab, a Republican. Did you find any major voter fraud in Kansas?
Not in our state. We do post-election audits, and we're one of the few states that do the audit before the Board of Canvassers meet to make sure they have the appropriate data.
Have there been any people who have filed reports of voter fraud with the Secretary of State's office?
Yeah, we've had about 12, but they were so nebulous.
You had 12, about a dozen complaints concerning potential voter fraud in the entire state to your office?
To our office.
We tried multiple times to talk to Sheriff Hayden to ask him to explain why he's spending taxpayer dollars looking into an election that has already been audited and certified. He declined. His spokesperson offered this.
You know, we're still investigating that. It's an open investigation, and we're really not going to make any more comments on it.
Turns out Sheriff Hayden is one of several elected sheriffs who say they're looking into mass fraud in the 2020 presidential election, something that has been widely debunked by secretaries of state across the country and dozens of courts. But their ideas are applauded, even encouraged, by an organization they are all members of. The organization is the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, run by a former Arizona sheriff, Richard Mack.
Our biggest concern now at the CSPOA is election fraud.
That was Richard Mack at the conference he puts on in Vegas. He has formed a whole dues-paying organization around the idea of constitutional sheriffs, who he says should not enforce laws they deem unconstitutional, even if passed by legislatures. Do you think that the 2020 election was fraudulent?
No one knows that. No one knows that. And people came out like William Barr and said, oh, well, there could have been some fraud, but it wouldn't have changed the election. He's a liar. He is a liar.
Secretary of States from across this country have said, we do know that. There was not enough fraud to change anything. And
they're lying.
Hold on.
They're lying.
His view on the attack on the Capitol?
And I said, anybody that broke into the Capitol deserves to be arrested. But what the FBI has done and the way they've been going after people, and people are still sitting in prison without charges and without trials, and what they have done, oh my gosh. It proves that the FBI will do anything they're told. They're a bunch of Nuremberg officers.
You just compared the Federal Bureau of Investigation officers.
Yes.
The rank and file.
Yes.
To Nazis.
They just do what they're told.
It is real disturbing to hear someone who was in law enforcement to compare the FBI with the people who slaughtered 6 million Jews and many other people.
Okay.
Do you see how that could create, a really bad taste in people's mouth to hear a former sheriff say that?
No. You're taking that way too far. Because this is what
Nuremberg. You just compared them to.
Okay. But this
you made the comparison, not me.
All right. Fair enough. But I will tell you why. Because the Nuremberg trial brought up one particular point. And it's, you can't hold me responsible because I was just following orders.
He says constitutional sheriffs won't and therefore sees an essential role for them in the electoral process.
I will tell you one thing. There is overwhelming evidence that cannot be dismissed, and all we're asking for is for sheriffs to conduct honest and fair investigations to determine if there is fraud.
Now, former Sheriff Mack's contention that alleged January 6 rioters are in jail and have been sitting there uncharged is patently false. There have been hundreds of charges. Some people have decided to plead guilty, others not guilty. Some are awaiting trial. There have also been many investigations into the 2020 election vote, including in his own home state of Arizona. There were official elections, and there was also a partisan look into this 2020. election, and both of them found, one of them done by the alleged cyber ninjas, or the so-called cyber ninjas in Maricopa County, they all found the same thing, that Joe Biden won the 2020 election. Sheriff Mack, though, not buying it, Anderson.
I mean, I can't believe this person was a law enforcement officer. I mean, yeah. Sarah
And
Seidner.
he's teaching other law enforcement officers, yeah.
Great. Sarah Seidner, thanks so much. We'll be right back.